Peace, love, and light, child. What's going on? It's your girl, Crystal, coming through, the Raw Spiritual Guru, and I'm coming through with part two of Phoenix Rising. So we're going to do this for the cover. All right, so I'm coming through with part two of Phoenix Rising's No Eyes Visions of the Changes to Come. The book is by Mary Summer Rain. Okay, so if you've seen part one, this is the ending part. I finished the book and I'm going to talk about the remaining changes as well and talk about them as well. So I'm going to just read because y'all already know. So let's just get to it first and foremost. If you are following me, thank you for following your girl. I appreciate you. Okay. If you're not, make sure you subscribe and join the tribe as well. So let's get to the changes that's coming, right? The T. All right. So part two to the remaining of the book, it says the changes that's coming. It's going to be money issues worldwide, economic depression, stock market fails, industries will fail. It's going to be a sharp decline in property values, that the government is in massive debt to each other and is unable to recoup. Okay? Don't that seem familiar in today's society? I'm just saying. Okay. Countries will be pointing the blame at each other and wars will come about. And they will see that these wars were actually, they will see that these wars were absolutely for nothing. So, with the wars that might be coming about, even the most unbelievable and recognizable smallest countries are going to start making nuclear bombs. And it's going to be countries with brown people. That's going to be the small countries that's going to be making these nuclear bombs because the yellow people have already had them, if you catch my drift. Okay, so it's going to be a bunch of tiny wars. It's going to be many wars going on all over. Don't that kind of seem like that's today's? Anyway, um, so this book also talks about like the analogy of the phoenix, so the different phases of the phoenix, right? So basically, when the phoenix is about to start to fly and use the phoenix wings to like look at the earth, um, it's going to be people that's going to start to free their minds as well. So a lot of people are going to be more open to the idea of spirituality and freeing their mind and looking for the truth and seeking the truth, right? It also said like the church leaders would get more involved with the government and the government policies and vice versa. The governments and the states would get more involved with the churches. Um, then in Then she said that a pope will die, i.e., get, you can't say certain things. So I hope you catch my drift. Okay. But it will be covered up. And that's when the churches will have their hands in the state laws. And then in turn, the governments will interfere with the churches as well. I didn't look that up, but I do believe popes, well, you know how that goes. I didn't look that section up to see when that may have happened. So you can look that up if you want. But do it feel like that the government is putting their hands in churches and vice versa already? Okay, we're going to move on. That it will be more UFO sightings. This will cause people to distrust the state's governments for the cover ups, as well as question the churches and the churches' preaches about the story of our creation. And then, even with these facts and proof that people will have at their fingertips, there will still be non-believers. So it's going to be believers and non-believers always in life, regardless of the facts. You could put it on a silver plate to someone, and regardless of that, it still would be non-believers, right? So she said that it's going to still be believers and non-believers. Um, so she stated that aliens will actually talk, touch, and teach, and they will prove things. They are going to try to help the people here. And the truth will be the light and the dark Phoenix days. So the aliens is actually going to come, and instead of what they told us that the aliens will attack us and us to be more fear-based of these beings actually are going to tell us what it really is. They're going to help us. They're going to talk to us. They're going to educate us. So with that, then more people will start to believe in the paranormal, spiritual events and acts as well, right? So I said people are going to start be awoken and opening their minds. That within Mother Earth is buried certain nuclear and radioactive items, which Mother Earth is going to be spitting these items back up to the surface. So she's basically healing herself due to the negligence of people and humanity. It might not be you and me that put these nuclear items within Mother Earth, but she's basically spitting them out and rejecting them. So with that, it's going to affect up to 12 different places. Two different places are going to have massive earthquakes because of this, and the other places will ooze up with radioactive nuclear items. Thousands will be affected from this. There's also going to be big nuclear plants that get close to meltdowns. And the two meltdowns that's going to happen from these nuclear plants is going to be harming the people that's going to be around in that area. So it's going to be very important for you to see if you're near nuclear plants, power plants, if you live in a nuclear radioactive town or a town that holds these plants, because if so, you might want to move, and that's just real. Um, she says something about it might be a great earthquake at the Rocky Mountain artisan that will be caused due to radioactive and chemical release as well. That cities are going to be in shambles from crazed rioters. All type of people will be taking revenge upon the unjust world. Buildings are going to be burned and bare. Windows will be blown out. It's going to be lots of explosions. Groups of gangs with weapons roam the streets and search to take their madness out on others. It's going to be massive gun shootings, a lot of sirens, and you're going to see a lot of the crazy loony people actually come about. And honestly, like, ain't that kind of happening right now? I hear sirens every day. I just said yesterday, I counted how many sirens I heard from 7 to 4 p.m. I heard 10 sirens and about 5 planes. Okay. Why? Why? I don't live in a bad area. Why did I hear all them sirens? And I don't even know which type of sirens they were. Like, I just heard sirens. I don't know if they were police sirens, ambulance sirens, firefighter sirens. I don't know. But I heard 10 at different times throughout that shift. I stopped listening. I said, all right. But it's wild, right? It's wild. So, this is going to be mainly caused because the government will make up many laws that do not serve the people, and the people will uprise. Because the people don't have any say in the laws that's being passed and created for the people. And the Supreme Court, who passes the laws for the country, the laws that take away people's private lives, private rights to spirit, private anything, trying to create a police state This will be the beginning of the end. The people is going to uprise due to this. There may be a missile attack on NYC and the arsenal attack as well to blow away with the nuclear war exchange. And I just want to touch on that real quick. You know what's wild? Like, I had this dream that New York was on fire, and I didn't have it recently. I had this dream way back. And I got found when I had that dream because I usually keep a diary of my dreams. But I had a dream that New York was burning to the ground. Okay. I had a dream that Florida completely disappeared. I had a dream that New York was burning to the ground as well as California was burning to the ground. Like, but New York burning to the ground wasn't caused naturally. California's was. Like, I don't believe California going to be here too much longer, honestly. Um, or I don't believe it's going to be here for, you know, um, okay. That people will refuse, bear with me, y'all, one sec. That people will refuse to pay taxes until the changes are to come, and that with these wars that people are going to hide their sons due to war drafts or flee to other countries because they don't want their children to fight wars based on nothing, and that others will stay but they will rebel the drafts. And then, due to the uprise of the people being the majority, the government will start to fight within and revolt against each other. That she did see, now these are going to be the positive changes that she's seen coming after the massive deaths that's going to happen due to the turmoil that this planet is about to go on. The positive changes that she's seen happening, that it's going to be a one government for all people. Ain't that interesting? Because they keep talking about this one world government, right? And honestly, I listen to a lot of different prophecies, especially Native American prophecies, and they all kind of say that it's going to be a big fight, but it's going to ultimately lead to a one world government with the people that's going to be left. The people that's going to be left here after the chaos, madness, and deaths is going to lead to a one world government. Um, the peace of men will settle the earth, and then the Indian nation will rise up again with the people that's left on earth, where they will seek them out and believe their way of living is the right way of living, which is the earth way. That the men will build circular homes that's going to be partially underground and use the sun for power. And the round houses is to keep unity of energy in and to be close to Mother Earth. That's why it's going to still have an element within the ground. So you could be close to the earth, but you could still keep the energy within. That people will come together and give thanks for the earth, humanity. There won't be any leaders leading them, but instead the people is going to come together as a unit and be one. That everything will be more so done old fashioned. There won't be power tools. Instead, you'll see nails and hammers being used. People will learn how to live the Indian way, and the Indians is going to help them to live that way. Okay. So I'm just going to also go down the line real quick in case you didn't see part one. So those was my personal notes. So I'm going to just read this real quick. Excuse me. All right. Phoenix Chronicles. Contract economic aspect. Massive blue collar strikes, relocation of key factories overseas, computerizations of factories, extended imports, exports, taxations, increased unemployment, widespread factory shutdowns, excessive taxation, small business failures, insolvencies of many banks, stock markets misleading declines, drastic construction decline, devaluation of real estate, increase in corporate crimes, drop in levels of manufactured goods, increase of corporate monopolies, takeovers, increase in personal bankruptcies, widespread layoffs, runaway credit purchases, cash as only accepted tender. Okay, so I did have a side note for that. So she did say, keep cash on hand when many banks fail, the economy may only accept cash as tender. So y'all know that even though they want to go into a digital system, that it still glitches within that digital system. So if you go to like when we have like different massive when we have different issues here in the States, what happens? They'll say, oh, debit card is down, cash only, even though you are seeing more signs that says debit only. But what happened when the system go down? They taking your cash, right? So always keep cash on hand. All right, so we have emerging natural disasters. Major devastation in California. I'm telling you, like even though like I read this, but I've seen California. I've seen certain different videos of New York. I've seen New York before flooded. I did see New York flooded before, like a big wave coming to New York before. But I also seen New York burning on fire. It wasn't all New York, but like I said, it could have been due to an attack or someone. But California, I I keep seeing like I the fact that I don't even care to visit California. I don't care. I don't. I that yeah, no. California, y'all already know. I mean, it's just a lot. I know y'all probably love y'all state, but I would just try to relocate real life if you can. All right, go back. Major devastation in California, earthquakes in new areas, inactive craters becoming unsettled, mountains become unsettled, return of the Dust Bowl, record breaking flooding, tornadoes increase intensity and occasions, liquefaction of soil beneath faults, intensified hurricane devastation, freak wind gusts and accidents, soil erosion, increased radiant levels, rock and mud slides, insect infestations, sinkhole, rapid temperature inversions, frigid winters, deadly blizzards, summer storms with intensified hail, lightning, seeping natural gas fires, explosions, underground fires, widespread surface blaze, major quakes of the New Madrid Fault, southern Illinois or northeastern Arkansas, which may jeopardize the entire Mississippi River Valley area. Greenish hue to atmosphere equals Phoenix days, high pollution levels. Um, in the book, she also said something about like if she didn't touch on that the Mississippi River right now is drying up. But in the book, she says something about that the Mississippi River will have water again. That with these different floods and things, the water is going to flow down the Mississippi River again. But she didn't touch on the Mississippi River drying up today, which it is. Okay. So eye searching transportation accidents. Plane crashes increase, shipment disasters increase, higher incidence of train derailment accidents as well. Lightning, freak deaths and accidents. Amusement park disasters, increase in homicides and suicides, freak household accidents, disease outbreaks, several catastrophic propane explosions, germ welfare release accident. Ain't we going through that right now too? So I believe on part one I had said something about different diseases returning that was like the bubonic plague, um, like the bubonic plague. But she also said there's going to be more diseases that's going to be returning, up to four deadly diseases that's going to be returning that should have been like eradicated, and that's just because we know why. It's because, right? Do I need to say it? Because I ain't trying to get flagged on here. I'm just saying. Yeah. Germ welfare. That's it. That's what it is. All right. So then we got breath heaving discord between nations, grave economic grave economical differences, arms escalation, wearing altercations, terrorism increases, undeclared wars, high level of secrecy, wings flexing, spiritual unrest and awakening, questioning masses, political church actions, government interventions, repression from certain religious sects, increased UFO sightings, interactions with other intelligence, acceptance of paranormal, acceptance of ongoing spirit afterlife, more religious sectors going to court to force their personal restrictions on the public, the Welland nuclear incidents, several close meltdowns, leaks, sleeping radioactive dump sites, two catastrophic meltdowns, radioactive pollution of land, river, several major accidents of nuclear missile trucks, carriers, and the transportation of radioactive waste, radioactive release caused from geological instabilities, civil unrest, people's revolt and resistance movements, draft invasions, public discovery of cover ups, nuclear exchanges, massive revolts and government turnarounds, taxation refusals, war resistance, policy disagreements with government bodies, major upheaval with governments. Then it says flying free, rise of age of peace, total equality, total equality among people, the continuance of all meat ingestions, construction reform, cessations of most several natural disasters, pollution free energy innovative by ways of earth magnetic field, rise of the Indian nation through widespread adaptation of its ways of natural living and deep human philosophies. All right, y'all. So she did say towards the end as well that it was going to be the animals going to be roaming free. Like the animals want to be free. They was going to have like their families, be able to have their families. It was going to be all type of animals. So you seen the cows with the calves in the field minding their business. Like in the woods, you might see rabbits with their families and different type of animals with their families. It was going to be fields of grains. People was going more so eat from the land versus like hunt and kill animals to eat. All right, so this was Phoenix Rising. This was really a good book to read, especially if you are very in tune with yourself and what's going on in this world, and you like to see different prophecies and predictions come about. Like this fell into my lap. A lot of things are falling into my lap. I'm going on an additional spiritual journey, spiritual awakening. I'll tell y'all more about it when I'm going through it. I don't like to kiss and tell too much, but honestly, a lot of things is becoming eye opening to me. Like with me having certain prophecies and dreams as well. I really take heed to the warnings. Now, you could do with this information as you will. Like I said, this is in a book. This book was based from 1982. A lot of things, in my opinion, is coming to fulfillment grab this book, add it to your collection. Is a good one to have. And this is my review on Phoenix Rising. I would definitely give this book a grade A. It's good to have in your library because someone is trying to keep us from a prophecy of some kind. All right, y'all. Peace, love, and light. Follow for more. I'll talk to y'all later.